Unmute. And intro.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Super Desperation Radio! Go!
Oh yeah, baby, we live out here. I can't even fake that. Welcome to another great episode of Super Desperation Radio that we promise will stay on topic and straight and narrow, and we don't need those other two guys. All the straight shooters are here right now, most important people in the world. And
we never stay on topic.
We always stay on topic. I know. Well, no, sometimes we stray. Sometimes we can. It's a topic that we stay on, but it may not be the topic we started with.
We strafe on topic, okay?
We strafe on topic?
That's what we do. That's what we do.
So we go left and right a lot? Okay.
Never quite get to the heart of the matter, but we can stay on it for at least, a good 5 minutes before moving on to the next thing.
Yeah, where is this stream? I'm sorry.
Are you still watching that E-League thing?
I'm trying not to.
It's on the background for me, but obviously that's a tab over. Since I'm not in the future, I don't have multiple monitors, I got nothing.
I don't even have a computer that can handle a stream like that and then run this stream and then on top of that have Skype open so I'm going to need some live updates.
I'm pretty sure your computer is struggling just to get the stream going with Skype on, man.
Yeah. So. This year alone has been just constant hiccups, and you're using all your resources. Keep getting these messages. It's awful. But yeah, so E-League is happening right now. So if you're joining us while watching that, thank you for jumping in. If you're not, please come in.
You're probably watching E-League.
You're probably watching E-League, really closely, intently. And
just to kind of aside really quick, I know we're going to talk about E-League, but man, I'm actually surprised at how long it's going on today.
Yeah, that seems kind of grueling, actually.
Because it started 3 Central, and it's going to probably finish after 9. So that's pretty brutal.
And they've just been going nonstop, right? It hasn't really been much of a.
All they've had small commercial breaks, and they've done an occasional feature on the side where they'll have Sajum or somebody like that kind of discussing matchups, but there isn't there's been a lunch break or anything like that. It's just been continuous.
Wow.
And this is just doing 2 out of 3, by the way. They're not doing 3 out of 5. Thank God, because it would have never finished.
Not at anything close to a regular time, at least. I'm just now thinking about so they're obviously going to cut this down for TBS on the 31st. That is definitely something going to do. They're not going to have a 6-hour TBS special.
No, I think from what I've read, it's just going to be highlights of quals.
Right? Yeah, it's not going to be every match and whatnot. So, I mean, I guess we're getting the exclusive right here. But at the same time, I'm thinking the commentators are that's why they've been switching out so much, Because they give them
Dude, I hope they're getting paid well, because that's grind. That's a grind, man.
It looks fun, and it is fun, but it's also
it still work.
Yeah, you still got to be there for 6 hours. You can't go anywhere,
Yeah.
So, but it's looking pretty good. But we'll get back to that later on. We've actually had a lot going on this week in terms of announcements. And some official, some not so official.
Yeah, I was man, some things that weren't announced that just popped on the internet.
And, we are both grateful, and we also request people hold some decorum when, bringing these topics up, obviously. But
I don't request any kind of decorum when you're putting things out on the internet.
I mean, I have to at least try. If I don't try, then I feel then the internet pirates have won, basically. Got
Oh, well, I'm talking about leaks and stuff. I'm not talking about just saying things all willy-nilly, just being out here saying shit. There's a difference.
Right. Oh, well, I'll just get straight into it then. So obviously we had the KOF 14 release official announcement of Vanessa, who everybody had anticipated was going to be in the game.
Thanks to a leak.
First
we had the spoiler leak. Then we had, almost a week before there was the one image that surfaced,
Right.
which no one was 100% sure if was real, but turned out it was.
Yeah. And the worst part about that was like that one was like straight up like I don't call it a malicious leak, but it wasn't like it was like on accident or something, you know? Like there was no event that allowed people to come in and sit down and photograph that. Like that was literally somebody taking a screenshot and just posting it.
Yeah.
You know? So somebody's probably in trouble for that.
Maybe it's the same person who's now in trouble for the other leak.
Well, it's possible because both leaks came out of China, both leaks came out of China, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of the Vanessa leak that came from a Chinese forum, and in terms of the Rock Howard leak, supposedly rumored, still not entirely sure, but in terms of that leak, that came at a live event that people were at and taking flash photography of, and somebody was like, "I'm gonna upload this to the internet." And nobody thought to stop him. Those feel like two totally different things to me.
So that one happened at a live event?
Yeah, they took a picture of a picture of a screen of one of the later builds, and they uploaded it.
I know they took a picture of a screen. I figured it was just someone's desk.
That's what I meant. Live
That looked
event.
like a mess. There's no way that was a live event. That was definitely like a private desk at someone's like office.
That's what I mean. I don't mean like live event as in like people were there and they were gathering and they were obviously visiting something, and somebody was like, "Hey, check it out," and some dude was like, "Take the picture." They didn't tackle him. They were just like, "Oh, he took a photo of that very sensitive material that we weren't supposed to tell anybody about." All right.
Yeah, so E.T., the Taiwanese player, was the source of that image. Now, whether he took that picture or he was given that picture to put online, I don't know. But it disappeared real quick after he put it up.
Yeah.
But not
But it
fast
was
enough
way-
for the internet.
It's too late.
So now here's the other problem with that. So the moment that went up, like there were several people who should know better by now than to be like, "Oh, I need to, spread this around." They did exactly what they weren't supposed to do, or they basically saved it and then they shared it. And so by the time that I'm awake, I'm seeing people like, that are way high up there in terms of like community respect and pillars of the whatever we could call a pillar of the KLF community, and they've got it on their feeds, they've got it on their timelines, and I'm like, guys, please, like I don't want to tell people how to handle their social media or anything. I don't think that's my right whatsoever, but I also feel like if you want to be one of those SNK guys that want to work with a partnership with them, you probably shouldn't be retweeting or posting your own leaks, basically.
Well, I mean, we've talked at length in the past about leaks and leak culture, and excuse me, we all kind of come out different ways on leaks. I'm of the belief that post them, go for it. I think if the information can be gotten, it can be put out there. I also understand a developer's side, and I understand the people who want to try and protect the developer and their investment and the money they put in, but it's still news and it's newsworthy.
Oh yeah, totally. Like I agree with you. Once it's out there, like I said, I can't tell people how to do that. I can only suggest that if your end game is to be in a good relationship with the developer, you probably don't want to support the leak.
Oh yeah. That's just common sense, I would think.
Right?
But people don't have common sense, which is why they put it up. And then they erased it when Oda said he was pissed off on what was it, Facebook, he said?
Yeah.
He really didn't say anything. He just made a Facebook update that was just like a mood. It was just like, he is angry, basically.
Yeah. And like,
So.
I'm perfectly fine if people want to put it up and keep it up, but a lot of people put it up, and the moment his, I guess, status update, whatever the crap it was, went up, several people who put it up erased it, and then they started like attacking people who had the picture up. I'm like, oh well, this is.
Do what I say, not what I do?
Yeah. Not even as I do. Like nobody was like, I never did that. What are you talking about? Like it was literally like
that wasn't me.
Yeah. It was a shaggy defense, man. It wasn't me. You know.
Oh man, really?
Caught me red-handed. Wasn't me. Like that shit is. That's extra. That is some extra. That is some extra shit, man. That is like there's no redeeming that. Like you literally just played both sides of the coin.
No, exactly. Like if you're gonna put it up, cool, put it up. But don't be that guy that just like, oh hell yeah, look guys, it's I don't know, it's Vanessa Lewis. Ah, this is sick. And then like 10 minutes later, go do it on Hell Pockets timeline, see it, oh you piece of shit, how dare you? How this person's a developer?
How could you do that to SNK? My God.
Exactly.
I can't believe you've done this.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I now when the Rock Howard leak came out, I didn't repost it obviously because that's just bad form. But I did discuss it because at that point it was just like, well, it's all over my feed. I literally could not. Yeah. I could not go into Facebook. The first thing I saw at 8 a.m, I opened up Facebook and bam, Rock Howard, and I'm just like, my eyes, you know.
Yeah.
So
I'm kind of the same way. For me, I didn't really say much about it, other than just kind of discussing it in general terms with some people and discussing it, obviously specifically with you guys privately, because I didn't know where the hell it came from at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not just gonna go around posting something when I can't source it if I can help it, and just being like, "Hey guys, guess what rocks in the game?" And it's like that's just
it's irresponsible.
It's really bad judgment, actually.
But it got everybody hyped. It made everybody excited.
Well, yeah, it got people excited. And there are some people that are disputing the leak, saying it's completely fake. Quite a few people are saying it's just an edit of Shun'ei because of the pose or something. I don't know. I made a joke saying it's Leo from Tekken. And people got mad at me. A lot of people just dislike Leo because, like, also Rock ripoff. Leo, I forget which one it is, but
it's
still.
Leo.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's out there. Might as well discuss it. I personally didn't say anything about it at all. Like I just don't care. But my reasons are different because I don't like Rock Howard. I don't give two shits about this character.
So this kind of goes into a topic that Chris and I were talking about last night, which is the fact that Rock Howard is really exciting for people who don't play KOF.
Mm-hmm.
And if SNK is trying to get people who don't play KOF to play KOF, Rock Howard's a good choice.
Yeah.
Because he was in CVS. And those are the only characters we know.
Yeah.
So it's either that or you go back to Fatal Fury 1, Fatal Fury 2, Sam Show 1, Sam Show 2, the first Art of Fighting. Those are the characters.
And they kind of already been doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, definitely. So Rock Howard is a good choice if that's the choice. We still don't know, although I would have to say with the tweet disappearing and the general sort of aura around the thing, makes me think that it is. It may not be the next character, but it looks like it's definitely a character.
Like the fact that he had that reaction, which was another thing. I would say that the best thing he could have done was not react at all. But the reaction basically gave it away that he had he lost something in the leak of Rock Howard. He lost something, and everybody felt that loss, and he made sure everybody felt that loss. And then he even interacted with us afterwards saying everything was fine and that they had something coming out the next day for Iori's birthday, which turned out to be a really awesome sketch of Iori. And now everybody's like, well, Rock Howard basically confirmed. And now we move on to the phase in which you and I were talking about where, like, who does this bring in? CVS2 obviously is the most recognizable state that any SNK character has ever been in. Any SNK character that was in CVS2 is FGC worldwide, basically. Like, almost everybody knows that character now.
I don't know in terms of pure sales numbers, but at least in the United States, CVS2 is the biggest SNK game there is.
Definitely. And so I think pulling Rock out was the best move they could make. They've already promised Yamazaki officially. It's just a 1-2 punch. You knock him out with Rock, you know? And not even everybody likes Rock, but they recognize him, and they're like, yeah, I will play Rock. I mean, we obviously had the issue with Maximilian, which I'll also talk about later on. And he's literally just like, I'm interested in this because of Rock.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, I mean, you know, it's not like they were going to put Toto in the game.
Well,
you know, in terms of, if you're looking at the CVS2 roster, characters that were played a lot in the U.S., or at least recognizable in the U.S., most of them are in the game. The only ones that aren't right now is probably like Rock and Rugal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if there's anybody who is on that level who's in CVS2.
Like, honestly, like you say Rock and then Rugal, and I'm just like, man, I don't even know a lot of people that played Rugal in CVS2. Like, they knew he was in there.
But people know he's there, which is funny. But, yeah, I mean, really, just the two of them.
It's them, and they already had the third guy, Geese. That's it. You can literally play Team CVS2 with Geese, Rock, and Yamazaki now. And you've got, like, fan favorite coming out the ass.
So.
It's a good move.
If that's the choice, it's a good choice.
Now.
So, kind of wanted to talk about Max, and so I concede the floor to you on the Max thing.
Okay, so I just want to say that this whole issue has been ongoing for, well, how long now? It could be like a month. It basically started with Shingo v. Rock. Somebody basically put it out there that people who want Shingo are real KOF fans, and people who want Rock only know him because of CVS2, which at the time wasn't necessarily that bad because it was true. Like, a lot of people who knew Rock only know him from CVS2, and a lot of KOF fans who have been diehards for years would want Shingo, I guess. I don't know. That seems kind of flimsy to me. But they kind of mutated into this thing where, like, you know, people were calling each other names off of that shit, and they were using a lot of off-color, terms that, like I said before, I don't want to mention on this show, but it turned into some real arguments, and people started actually calling out other people over their quote-unquote legitimacy as a KOF fan, depending on which character they wanted as DLC. And eventually, it reached out to Max, which I'm gonna let Gibby talk about it too because he wanted to handle this. But the weirdest thing about this to me is that the main thing that they attacked Max for was his consistency on the topic of KOF, and I'll admit, like, he doesn't put a lot of videos up. He doesn't have to, That is not Max's thing. Maximilian is an entertainer. He plays all games. There's no reason for him to dedicate any time, anything more than he wants to KOF or any other game, But there's one thing that he's always been consistent about, and that's how much he fucking loves Rock Howard. Like, that dude, like, he will talk your ear off about Rock Howard and how much he likes him and how much he wishes he was in another KOF or another CVS3 came out and had him in it. Like, he has basically been on record as being a huge Rock Howard fanboy. So I totally challenge anybody who calls him a fair weather fan based simply upon that, because he's never once claimed to be a huge KOF fan. He's only claimed to be a huge Rock Howard fan, which is what SNK is going for. Anyway, what do you got?
Oh no, I just wanted to send a message directly to Max.
Oh,
Max, I don't watch your videos. Your videos aren't directed to, we're not the target audience. The majority of people that's been in the FGC for a long time are not your target audience. You know this. We all know this. You bring in new people. You've been doing a good job of this with all the stuff. You did the Guilty Gear song with the Doritos line. I forgot the whole bit. I just remember that part. That was good. You got people interested in Guilty Gear. You try to get people interested in KOF right now. Great job. I appreciate it. Fuck everybody in the community that told you anything negative. I will find them for you, and I will talk to them. If you have any questions about the King of Fighters community and you want to try to work with it, let me know. I'm more than glad to help you. I'm not going to be a dude. I don't want to be a dude. But I will definitely help you getting this shit done. You like Rock Howard? I don't like Rock Howard. We already got our differences, but it's okay. All right? We'll work together to get this down. Keep making those videos. Who gives a shit what the community thinks? You're doing a good job. You're bringing attention to a game that doesn't have as much attention as people want it to have. You try to bring attention to it, people give a shit to it. You know what? Fuck them. They don't deserve anything.
Especially your time.
Well,
Yeah.
and you know, that's what we were discussing last night, is that it's hilarious how communities want more attention to their game, but it's like it has to be this like pure attention, basically.
Mhm.
Because I remember when Sign was getting ready to come out, and Max was getting really hyped for Sign, and posting videos like like he's talking about now, and there were people who were genuinely upset. And it, like you said, his videos are not directed toward us, and I'll admit that I was like a little tight, because I was like, man, I really don't want people to go to Max if they actually want to learn how to play the game. But at the same time, I could accept that at least maybe he'll get people who wouldn't otherwise be interested in the game into it.
Mhm.
And that's where you kind of have to draw a line, is just be like, hey, it's okay for people to just like a thing. They don't have to be as hardcore as you. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of people who probably have interest in King of Fighters who have no interest in playing it competitively in the fighting game community. People who play Street Fighter 5 seriously, and who are just like, oh man, I remember playing King of Fighters at my Pizza Hut when I was growing up. Like, I did. I played Fatal Fury and I played Sam Show and all those games. And, they're probably just like, oh, King of Fighters 14, not my thing, but it's kind of neat. I remember these characters. Maybe they're excited about Rock Howard being in. Maybe they'd consider buying the game. Why are you basically trying to take money out of SNK's pocket by being like, you're not a real fan, get the fuck out of here?
Yeah, like this whole idea that your dedication needs to be matched by everyone else in order for them to really feel you on that level. And that much I can kind of get with. I can understand how some people might feel that if there are people that come into my scene and they don't quite feel me because not on my level, I might feel a little awkward. But that's when I need to adjust myself, obviously. And that's when I need to realize I'm a fucking human being, and people are going to be people no matter what. And they can be cool or they can be dicks. But if we have similar interests, maybe they can come to my level or I can come down to their level, Or I can get whatever page they're on, Maybe maybe a Street Fighter 5 player comes in here and pulls me deeper into Street Fighter 5 than I ever thought I would go.
Yeah. And they keep saying true KOF fan. Like, what is a true KOF fan?
There isn't one.
So I'm a KOF fan. I've been playing KOF since it came out. I've been playing SNK games since '87. Am I a true KOF fan? I don't give a shit about Rock. Am I gonna get hate? I have received hate, but yeah, it's stupid. People could be a fan of a character, lose their shit. People were on this whole no mind, no buy kick.
Oh boy!
Oh shit! I lost my mind for this guy. Lost his mind for Rock. Oh fuck this guy. I don't like him. It's like, oh okay, good for you.
It's a mixture of shit. It's a mixture of people just being straight up mad that Maximilian gets humongous amounts of eyes on him, and that doesn't necessarily trickle down to everybody else, and it doesn't have to, because you got to build your own fucking castle, sir,
Yeah.
And the other half of it is, some people are just fucking stupid, man. I don't know if you saw the argument I had with those two guys from UGL.
I did.
The entire thread was basically me telling them, everything that you guys are doing is not in any way hampered by what Max has done. If anything, it's only improved. And if you are nice enough, maybe he'll mention you in one of his videos, Maybe because UGL, I guess they wanted to run online tournaments, and they claimed that was them giving back to the community. I'm like, cool, man. That's what you should be doing as players, is giving back to the game that has given you a chance to be sponsored and make you somewhat relevant, even though I don't know who the fuck you are.
Another thing this does is it hurts the KOF community, because Max publicly said, well, I'm done making videos because of jackasses, and people dug into it and found out, oh, hey, KOF people are giving Max shit.
Yep.
So, Maximilian's massive following, which is probably just as large as the entire
KOF community.
It's bigger.
Large.
Yeah, it's way bigger.
When I said
it's
community,
bigger.
I meant the entire fighting game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're probably right.
His entire following is gonna get this. They're gonna see it, and It's not a good look. You're looking, oh man, those KOF guys are assholes. Look what they did to our Lord Dude. Like, what the hell? It's gonna be fucked up. They're not gonna want to play our game. They're not gonna want to get. Oh man, I want to go to KOF tournament. They treated Max like shit. They're gonna probably treat me like shit too because I'm new to the game.
Especially if I say I learned it from watching a Max video.
Yeah, and like people don't seem to get it either. Like I was upset and happy at the same time. Like sometime last year, I looked at Twitch. Mark of the Wolves was one of the highest watched streams. Like games, like what the shit? I click it, I'm like, oh god damn it, it's Max. and he's playing. He's playing. He was playing Rock. He was playing Rock and Terry. And I was watching the whole time, whatever. But he had it was like 14,000 viewers. That game's never getting that many viewers again. If he decided to turn on King of Fighters 14, he's getting more viewers than the majority of like almost every tournament will, just by turning the game on.
Yeah.
Honestly. He's giving it more exposure than all of us as a community can do. The KOF community in this case. And just let's just fucking oust him. Piece of shit. We don't like him. No. He's a Rock Howard fan, but he's not a real KOF fan. That's not right.
Here's the thing. Like I don't even think like that. You need to he gets those viewers, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to mean viewers for us, but you don't need to expect that anyway. But you also can't be like, since I'm not getting that, I need to take him down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that's where the mistake is being made here. Like I totally don't care if people dislike Max's stuff. Like I honestly don't watch any of his videos. I haven't. It's not like I dislike him or anything. I just never got around to watching his stuff. So I don't really have an opinion on the quality of his work or whatever. But I also know that it does nothing for me to be like, well, since I don't watch anything that he does, he must suck. You know, like it doesn't make any sense for me to go that route. And I've been fighting people like that. I fought people like that all yesterday. People were just like people would say like, well, quote, last time I checked, frauds were frowned upon in this community, and I'm all like, how's he a fraud? Because he basically has said openly that he does not follow the game, and that he only really likes one character from this franchise, which is not even that franchise. It's from a different game entirely.
Yep.
You know, like, of course he's not a real KOF fan. He's a Mark of the Wolves fan.
There aren't very many of those out. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a lot of Mark of the Wolves fans. There aren't very many Mark of the Wolves fans. Difference.
It's a lot of fans, not a lot of players.
Not a lot of players. Tons of fans. They made an anime about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know it's not everybody. I know that this is a very, small minority of people that are vocalizing this. But some of them are also people that, I'm honestly kind of disappointed in some of the people that were kind of trying to play both sides on this, but they're just like, I kind of understand, how Max could be hurt by this, but you also have to understand how frustrated the KOF community is about this. How the fuck are we frustrated by Max making a KOF video that gets 100K views in under 4 days?
Well, it's sort of like we've talked about with a lot of smaller games, and the Guilty Gear community has had problems with this, way back in the long ago, and even some with Xrd. I can't lie and say we haven't, where people are just like, we've, toiled in secrecy basically, and nobody paying attention to us, but they're just bitter about it.
Mm-hmm.
And what they don't understand is that this guy's not coming to take the community from you. He doesn't care. He frankly just doesn't care. The worst thing that could happen is that you get some new players who maybe don't know what the hell is going on. That's the worst thing that can happen.
Yup.
So people need to chill the fuck out.
And don't we always say that we wish we had more people who didn't know what they were doing coming to us and saying, hey, how do I do this? Mm-hmm. So in theory, he basically is a factory for that. And if one player from his viewer base shows up to a tournament, probably loses, but asks somebody, hey, can somebody tell me what I'm doing wrong here? He's basically done way more for the community than anybody I fought with on Saturday.
Oh, well, but they're true KOF fans, Chris.
I mean, sure, fine, true KOF fans. I never see you at tournament.
Yeah. We have... go on, Paul.
Oh, no, I was going to say, and let's just be completely honest about it, too, is that if you're a big name in the community and you're going to come out and basically bash this guy for trying to help your community, not only does that make you look like a jackass, it just makes the whole community look like a bunch of jackasses.
Mm-hmm.
And we're better than that. I know we are. Everybody's been talking about how hungry they are. They're like to get growth here. So I know that some of those big names are not cool with this, even though they've been pretty quiet about it. So I'll do all the talking for them.
It's fine if they're not cool with it and they're quiet about it. As long as they're not vocalizing it.
I don't need them to go out there and rage against it. That's what I'm doing. You know. But don't necessarily assume that they're cool with it because they're not saying anything. Anyway, I want to bring Max on the show sometime to talk about KOF or something, or anything really.
We'll bring him on the show, and he and I can debate on why Rock is a bad or a good character. Easy. I'm gonna win because I have more ammunition.
Because you've been in the trenches with that character longer.
No.
You're gonna be speaking from a strictly mechanical standpoint. You're not gonna get to the heart of the matter. You know, like you're a cold, unfeeling human being that can't relate to other humans. So you're gonna be like, he doesn't really perform well at the highest level, so he's kind of useless to me.
I think that it's really frustrating because just kind of as a last final note on this, KOF 13, and I was telling you this last night. KOF 13 only got to the level of popularity it did in the U.S., in my opinion, because of NorCal, Southtown, and Haunts, and those streams. Southtown was a venue that was basically just trying to drum up business. Haunts just happened to like the game. He wasn't a top player or anything like that. And in fact, it was more content for iPlayWinner at the time. So it's not like this was a whole big, we're doing this for the scene thing. It was just we're doing it because we wanted to do it. And yet, I would say, honestly, without that, the game would have never gotten the popularity that it had at all. So just chill the fuck out.
Yeah.
This is something we've been saying just for a few years now. Like, people that try to dispute the claim that NorCal made the game made KOF what it is, they're just wrong. It's not. This is not an opinion. It's a fact. They carried KOF 13 on their backs for an entire year, and everyone's like, "Oh, well, SoCal's better." Yeah, sure, SoCal was better in terms of playing, but they did nothing to give exposure to the game. SoCal players were at the arcade every day playing each other, and like groups of 8 to 12. Cool. No one recorded the damn thing, and then here you got these guys just playing because they love the game. Were they great? No. But it produced some jackass named Hell Pocket.
Well, and you know too, the funniest thing about it is, SoCal didn't really have a lot of content or streams for the longest time. East Coast picked up the game a little bit later, and they had a strong scene once they got there, but they weren't there at the beginning. But it was not only that NorCal played the game and they advertised the game. There was personality in the NorCal scene.
Yeah.
You know, we rag on Chris, but you and Roger Dodger and Haunts, and Magus, and just all those people who were around the Southtown, just being there. It was just a bunch of people who had personality and charisma. And it drew people to whatever you guys were doing at the time. And that's kind of how Max is.
Yeah.
And that's cool, actually. You know, you don't have to be the best at something to be excited about something. And I'm just drilling this into the ground. Let's move on.
No, yeah. I mean, you pretty much said everything. And so, yeah. Sorry, Max. But moving on. So people are excited for Rock Howard. People are excited for Vanessa. Vanessa.
I like Vanessa.
Vanessa plays.
You know, some gameplay footage of hers came out, but it wasn't very long, and it didn't really show all that much, and I was kind of disappointed.
So something about Vanessa is just like, from my experience with her, it's just she seems like a really cool, like, multifaceted character with a lot of, like, you know, what looks like on paper good mix-up tools, but she's still pretty straightforward. So what we saw from 14 at least seemed really similar to what I would see back in 11.
Yeah, that's the only game I know her from,
Yeah.
because I didn't play any of the other games in between.
Like, she's just mad oppressive. I mean, like, Gibby might know more about it because he probably dealt with her in 2000.
Yeah, she was fun in the old games. Fuck her in 2K2 though. No, she's she seems to be like fine. Like, just the way she looks, her Whip, Yamazaki all seem to be good. Not good. I'm sorry. They just seem to be good representations of their old selves. The gameplay videos that we were given from SNK don't really show off much at all, because they're just one round, like 30-ish second videos. It just shows you some special moves, super climax, whatever. It's fine. We won't know how the characters actually play till we get our hands on them, obviously. But they look good right now. There are some minor complaints about design that people have. Like, say, everyone's fine with Whip. Some people are mixed on Yamazaki, because Yamazaki is his Fatal Fury design, not his KOF design. And Vanessa is probably the weirdest of them all. And those are some of the more complaints, or some of the complaints I agree with more, because she has the Street Fighter syndrome that you pointed out, Chris, where her hands are huge compared to the rest of her body, and it's very noticeable. It's not one of those things that you'd like, oh, I didn't see that. Her fists are like almost the size of her head.
You get the ham fist, man.
Yeah, and if Anthony were here, but he's ripped right now, he would definitely complain about her open-toe shoes, which make no sense.
I have no issue with that, actually. I'm totally fine.
I know, Chris.
Got some whack elbows, I'll say that much.
Dude,
I'm like, she has no muscle definition, no anything. Like,
hey, GC Yoshi is like giving A+ for those armpits, though.
He's not a true KO.
Dude, she has less definition on her arms than I do.
Dude, it's so
there's like
crazy,
nothing there.
And they're so long, man. Like they're like fucking like she's got like what like Dead Space necromorph arms, man.
Like I understand
right.
in animation you're taught to like accentuate certain features so that they stand out more, but she stands out way too much compared to the rest of the cast in this aspect. I'm not big on it. And my personal biggest gripe with her is, what the hell are those pants?
Hey,
that makes no sense.
That's her what are they called? Fuck.
I think I saw a shirt like that at Express one time. I think I have a shirt like that from Express in my closet, to be completely honest.
Like the pant, like the stripes or the?
Yeah, the stripes, the purple and the stripes.
Oh my god. No, she's like from the '90s, man. She's a '90s kid, so like she's like, hey, I got my old pants from like from like '98.
No, she has a kid that was born in the '90s. There's a difference there.
Well, that's what I mean. Like she was wild in the '90s. That was her heyday. She was out there going crazy, you know. He's like, oh, I got my old
Street Fighter 5 competitively at this point.
Probably, man. She's just trying to stay relevant. It's like, what are the kids into today? They're into like weird pants and open-toed shoes, right? And girls that box. Yeah, I'm still hip. I still got it. Oh, poor MILF.
You know, whatever. Vanessa. Like, it's cool. It works out.
I have no problem with the pants. I have seen way worse pants being worn by people in fighting games. That is not the number one offender. Not even in KOF.
Yeah.
I mean,
at least
I was about to say, if we're going to argue about KOF fashion, I got a list.
No, yeah. It's just weird that she went from having just, typical business slacks, beating your ass in them, to this.
Well, I think she was like on duty at the time.
Yeah.
Now she's not on duty. She's on vacation or some shit.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
It is funny. Just the overhaul, the glammed out. So.
Dude, I like how they gave her like the fucking lacy garters under her shirt. I'm like, wow, that is like the most random shit.
They definitely like fan service the hell out of this character. Yeah. And her climax, you just get this booty shot, and everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Like when I saw it, I'm like, "Oh man, people are gonna lose it to this shit."
Yeah, man. Butts are in 20.
Everyone lost it to that shit.
Butts 2017.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think she's gonna be a fun character. I've already got a couple people saying that they're interested in playing this game because she's in it, and they have to pick it up early so they can learn 2 other characters. So, she's doing her job.
Yeah, I was about to say, we talked about this too, as all the new characters seem to have people genuinely excited. I haven't heard one, like, the characters where people are just like, man, fuck that character. I didn't want them in there. You have people who are like, oh man, I wish I had this character instead. But generally, the feedback has been really positive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And on the subject of DLC characters, I mentioned this last night to you, Chris. There's a tweet out there that shows what is it? It's showing like 3 of the KOF characters from like 2. What is it? Yamazaki, Vanessa, Whip, and it shows what's the character's name, Chris? The Street Fighter 5 guy, Tyler. Taylor.
Oh,
something like that.
Taylor, yeah, the background
shit
character
like that.
from Guile Stage.
Yeah, so it shows this guy, and it's like, oh, hey, look, this is what SNK is giving us. This is what Capcom's giving
Oh God, that shit.
And that
I
is
think I saw
stupid
this.
as shit. Like, this was posted by a prominent person in the King of Fighters community, Free&L, and this is not the kind of shit you do to, like, it doesn't help anything. It's just like, oh, hey, look, we're better than Capcom. That's essentially what it is. And it's really dumb. It's just dumb.
Like,
Like, there's nothing positive about this.
the thing about that is, like, I can see somebody saying that, like, oh, he's just trying to have fun at the expense of the
That's
Capcom
fine.
players, which is
Yeah.
like, I agree, that is fine, but at the same time, like, I also know that there's some digging going on in there, man. Like, there's definitely, like, a whole, like, we got one on them this time, you know, they've been talking shit about
Yeah.
us all year, and gotcha, you know, and
So there are some people who, let's go with Sanchez. Sanchez is a great example. Sanchez is somebody who is known in multiple communities, but his Twitter is legitimate jackassery, almost 95% of the time. So you know better than to take anything he says seriously.
Mhm.
Whereas, what you're talking about is somebody who is like 50%, like, hey, this community needs to do this, this, and this, and it's all serious business. And then it's like, I'm going to take shots at these other communities. It's like, that doesn't work.
Yeah. And I had a big spiel about this the other night. Like, it's cool that SNK is bringing back the characters that we know and love. And on the other hand, you have Capcom, who's taking a huge fucking risk.
yeah.
Giving us 5 completely new characters, right? Because they keep saying new characters. They're not returning characters. They're new. They've never been playable, whatever, in Street Fighter. I don't know who any of them are. And I'm interested in seeing who they are. Talking shit about what you don't know about is the dumbest crap. Also, he's one of the people who said that the league is fake, the Rock League, but he jumped on the bandwagon of the Taylor League being real. So
He also was one of the first people to retweet ET's tweet.
yes, I know.
In
Remember,
fact, that's
I see-
how
I
I
see everything.
actually knew that it was ET who tweeted it.
I wasn't gonna say it, but
It doesn't matter.
I know.
Like, it's just dumb. Don't try to talk shit about other people, other communities, put you or your community on a pedestal. It doesn't help. It makes you look like a piece of shit, and it doesn't help the community. It makes the community look like a piece of shit. Most people don't like interacting with King of Fighters players because bad interactions here and there, or they get treated like crap at tournaments, or they're told the game they play is shit. They should play King of Fighters. Fucking dumb.
There's a mix.
And you know what? Just so this doesn't seem like we're just shitting on KOF. This is a lot of smaller scenes.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of smaller
Oh, yeah.
scenes have been guilty of this. There are people in Guilty Gear who do it still, and it's frustrating. And I'm sure there are people in KI who do it, but I don't see it as much actually. Which is, hey, kudos to the King of Fighters, Killer Instinct scene for not being shitheads. Y'all pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna say the same, but I don't follow enough of them to know.
I follow people who would be considered like big names in KI, so I'm sure there's probably there's every scene's got shit bags, but
Dude, I would love for the KOF scene to be pretty much the KI scene. They basically got their schedule planned out all year. If they get some other majors that they get attached to throughout the year, fine, we'll go to those also. But they're just pretty much like, we're just about our game, we're going to play our game, and all that shit that goes on within the game stays in the fucking game. We're not over here trying to compete with Mortal Kombat, not trying to compete with fucking Tekken. We're just here playing KI. And that's what KOF players need to be about.
Yeah, and the other issue is Street Fighter is a very easy target because it's the biggest game of them all. And any little thing that goes wrong with it, everyone just has like a breakdown. Oh, this game is the worst shit ever. It's so bad. And like, why is everyone playing it?
Well, everybody buys into that Street Fighter V hate because it's like such a large body of people that have different opinions about it. Some people don't bitch about what's wrong with Season 2. Some people are totally loving it. Now, the funny thing is when you put a KOF player into that mix who's talking shit about, oh, look how broken Street Fighter V is, and I got Whip coming up pipeline. I'm like, yeah, well, you still roll behind somebody who can't turn around.
Yeah.
You still get dumb cross-ups. You still get fucking, you get like glitches that should not be in final products, and they don't seem to have any intention of taking them out.
You know what the world needs more? The world needs more Justin Wongs.
Oh yeah,
He is one of the top King of Fighters players in the U.S., which is a proven fact. And he doesn't bitch or complain all the time about things. He'll get upset, but he doesn't. He doesn't have like breakdowns of hate on Twitter or anywhere. Even talking to him, he'll point out what he doesn't like, but he's very rational about it.
Yeah.
Justin is at the very least, smart enough to keep his disdain and his distaste private.
Mm-hmm.
Good on
and
him.
He's always on time for his pools.
Yeah.
Same can't be said for 80% of you people out there.
I can only think of one time, but he didn't show up, so it's not even like he was late or anything.
So, I don't know. It's, but we talk about this a lot, and we've talked about it ad nauseum, I feel like. Just people just have bad attitudes, I guess, is the easiest way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta grow up a little bit, be more mature about it, and also just be able to recognize what's beautiful about your game and appreciate that. And I mean, that's all you had to do. Like, if somebody's giving you shit because KOF doesn't look like it belongs on the PS4, I mean, you tell them, like, you know what? If that's how you feel, then I can't change that. I'm still enjoying it.
For me, it's like, I understand people get tired of seeing love for something they don't like. Like, believe me, I will get tired of seeing shit about Street Fighter V at times. And hey, you know what? That's totally fine, and I understand. Maybe unfollow some people, maybe walk away from Twitter or social media for a while. But if you're getting mad just because people are just posting positivity, that's way better than the alternative, which is getting mad because they're just spewing negativity all the time.
Or nothing at all, and people are just, like, not even clicking on your shit,
Yeah.
Imagine that crap happening. Holy fuck. His heads would spin.
So, for my mind, the best way you can promote your game is to just talk about how you like your game.
Guilty Gear's actually been doing really well at doing that lately. Like, I think Guilty Gear the vibe has gotten way more positive in comparison.
I feel like we're trying. I don't know, man. Hey, that's all I can say is I feel like overall the community is really trying to be a lot more positive and just pushing. Honestly, it's not as much about just talking about the game as trying to push people who are doing good things.
Mm-hmm.
Like the exhibition series that's been going on, which I can't remember. It's the Steam Exerd League. I can't remember the name. Which has been which Silva and Sim are running, they've been doing every week, which has been great, and showcasing players, high level and moderate level, like people who are new, maybe not known in the community. That's been awesome. That everybody, and then anybody who wants to try to do commentary is getting a shot. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think scenes need more of that.
Yeah. And I keep saying that, KOF would do great to do that, a little bit more consistently. So I'm glad that Guilty Gear is really setting a good example for it, because I see those things and I'm like, wow, this looks like something that it catches my eye, like, even if I'm not into Guilty Gear, I'm like, wow, this is like, people are really excited for this. I might check it out. So they're doing a really good job advertising it, and at a perfect time, because Revelator 2 is like pretty much around the corner now, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it comes out on the 30th in arcades, and the 25th/26th for consoles.
Is it 25th of April?
May.
Okay,
Sorry.
That's cool.
So maybe you'll know this because I see mixed responses on this. Is the information on the demo real, or is it just made up?
People are grasping at stuff they heard. There has been no official announcement of a demo yet. There's a lot of rumor, just like, so there's no information on the Steam release, although they have not acknowledged that it's coming. But we still don't know when, and so we'll see. They did do a stream over the weekend just kind of showing off some of the new characters. They released information for the console version, which, some interesting stuff, basically, that there's going to be extra story added to Rev 2 after the game's released, which will be free DLC somewhere down the line. In player matches, you're actually going to be able to spectate when people are already playing.
That's cool.
Which is nice because in a lot of lobbies, people will just have the rematch feature on, So where they just keep playing long sets. Well, what that also means is that you can't ever spectate, because it counts that whole rematch, even rematches, as one whole session.
Oh boy!
So you're never allowed to go in and spectate.
I know what that's like.
To be able to do it. So that's really cool.
I hope they pass that technology around to other people, man. I feel like that's something that needs to be standard in fighting games.
I'm trying to think what else got announced for console. Oh, there's a whole new lobby. Basically, they visually changed the whole lobby to look, greener for Rev 2. And trying to think. I can't remember. There's probably one or two more things too.
I'm sure there's a bunch of shit you'll just find out once you open up the game too.
Yeah, somewhat. Oh, they're actually going to take Street Fighter's thing where you're basically going to have like first to two for ranked matches.
Oh, okay. Damn, I want that in KOF so bad right now. I mean, I guess you could. Well, the way we play it doesn't matter, but like I feel like if ranked ever became a thing in KOF, that would like fuck. Like,
this is a nice feature to have in any competitive game.
Yeah.
That uses 2 out of 3. Oh, I'm sorry, Street Fighter doesn't use 2 out of 3 anymore because people. But whatever, that's beside the point.
Don't jinx it, man. You think 3 out of 5? You think NCR is going to be the site of the first all 3 out of 5 Street Fighter 5 tournament?
If you guys don't like your lives.
If they dedicated like entire Saturday wing to that, I'm like, yeah, sure, go ahead and do it. We'll be over here taking over one of the stream stations. But holy crap, that conversation, I'm glad it's already kind of dying out, because I felt like if it had continued on any stronger than it already was at the time, like it would have just it would have brought the old 09 out to some people. Eventually somebody would have said, who gives a shit about this other scene and what time they need for the do their thing, and we definitely don't need that kind of dialogue going on. Especially with NCR around the corner, because it's in 3 weeks!
Whoa.
3 weeks!
We've got that in 3 weeks. We've got West Coast Warzone, Wizard World St. Louis, and Northwest Majors in 2 weeks.
Yep.
And we've got, Texas Showdown is a month away?
The April crush, man. I'm telling you. People are asking me if I'm going to Northwest Majors, and I'm like, I really want to, but at the same time, I'm like, it's like a week before?
Yeah, April's a mess.
Yeah. Oh.
Then again, that's the tournament season at this point.
Yeah, no, we've done it several times already.
The fall is way more busy than it used to be, but it's not the crush. But once January rolls around now, it's awful.
Just got stuff happening every week, and then like the last minute crush until July happens, and Jabali gets all whipped into a frenzy, and that dude's been working his ass off all year. Like I think he's running an event like every month now.
Did you see he's running a WrestleMania party?
What?
Oh yeah.
Is that what that flyer was with the old Matt Mania thing?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I don't know exactly what it is. I didn't see any, but I guess maybe it's going to be like a viewing party where you can play games. I have no idea.
Damn, it's pretty sick actually. I mean, I can't go obviously, but that'd be kind of cool to do like something like that, and maybe out here, because I know there's a bunch of fans who like maybe go to a bar and play and watch. Shit, we need to get him on the show, actually, not speaking of Jabali.
Yeah, he's not topical right now. Soon.
Don't say that in front of him. He'll be like, I'm not topical right now.
I'll say that.
That man always thinks topical.
He's holding CEO Dreamland, which is in 3 weeks, the same exact weekend as NCR.
That's true.
So he's doing that. Smash. We're not really well versed in Smash, so.
No. Nah. Although I did, I'm not that well versed in Smash, but I heard there's been some drama with the whole hitbox shit, with the whole Smash box versus hitbox thing, and
yeah,
I watched a video that was basically a response to some of that shit, and I'm like, wow, that got really ugly. So
no, I saw the video. I didn't watch it though. I didn't bother clicking it. I'll probably check it today.
From what I gather, it's just more people saying the hitboxes are cheating and we should ban them.
Hitboxes are cheating. Well, this was more about like, I guess they had a guy on board with them that was designing, and he was also like an OG player or something. And then for whatever reason, he ended up bouncing from the project and starting it on his own, changing a couple things, and basically calling it another product. And now he wants ownership of the original product that Hitbox is claiming we created it. Why would we give it to you?
Oh. Yeah. We're not.
Nah, I ain't even touching
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm saying. I was like,
that's
wow,
legal
that-
stuff and rights
Yeah.
issues. Nah,
That
man.
shit went real bad.
Yo, speaking of rights issues, though, I did catch some of Civil War, and I was like, holy shit, they definitely don't care about copyright in the Smash community. They just, no fucks are given at all. Just blatantly ripping off Marvel and just music. Oh, man, nobody gives a shit.
No, man, like, that's... Damn. I was watching that, I was like, dude, am I watching, like... So, a lot of tournaments in Mexico do that, basically, right? You watch a KOF tournament in Mexico, they'll be like, all of a sudden, AC/DC will be playing. You're just like, oh, that's going to get muted later on. And they just don't give a shit. They'll just run that as part of the trailer and everything. And, like,
Yeah.
I listen to that, and I'm like, damn, I wish I had the balls to do that.
I just don't even know how they can get away with it or afford to do it, because obviously, so Civil War was in SoCal. They did it at Esports Arena, although they did do it outside because it was in the street. And they had a shit ton of people there. Looked like a huge event, looked nice. I heard it was like just Smash 4, and it was like over 750 people.
Damn.
So that's a high profile event.
Yeah.
And, there's Diddy Kong and Iron Man armor, and I'm like, all right. You can do it, I guess go for it, but damn, I wouldn't have done it.
It sounds like a pretty big risk.
I think so, but hey, whatever they want to do.
Wait, so I was actually wondering, so this is not the same Civil War that features that was from East Coast, right?
No. This is just a Smash only event.
Okay. All right, so
It was basically made up on the auspices of Zero, and the other player's name was like Ally. Like they had like teams. They did a team event
Oh, okay.
after the main event. I didn't get to watch that. I was out of the house at the time, but they had a crane to do pan overs of the crowd from above.
Holy crap!
I'm not even joking, man. It was ridiculous. So, yeah, the Smash community ain't messing around.
We gotta step our game up, man. At least a production game. Shit. Said, get on that. Need a crane. A 10-0 crane. Do we have any questions?
It's a 10-0 branded crane.
Yeah. We have. I only see like maybe one or two questions. Do you see any more? Because I'm seeing some from Bending Monica. Gibby? He can't hear me, can he?
He's
Can you hear me?
man.
Oh, I can hear you now.
There he is.
Yeah, my computer just wigged out of nowhere.
Oh.
Nice. You didn't want a computer anyway.
No, I don't.
No.
See if I can click stuff. All right, hold on. So we're doing questions. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I see one from Bending Monica that I was gonna put up.
All right. Yeah, you do that.
All right. So Bending Madagascar asked us, will SNK be cautious when it comes to leaked information, like punishing those who are responsible? So that goes back to what I was talking about earlier, that if certain people want to have a good working relationship with SNK, they shouldn't probably do this, because SNK probably will punish them. If instead you are just a fan and you get a hold of some information and you're just like, whatever, I want hits on my Twitter or YouTube or Facebook account, they can't do shit to you. They can ask you to pull it down, maybe. That's about it. There's no other real way that they can punish you for that, because you were not within their realm of influence. So probably no.
Yeah, especially in the case of anonymous internet leaks. A lot of the stuff that's been coming out these days is just, random accounts posting information, and it's accounts tied to, maybe they're well known on a board like GAF or something like that, but nobody knows who that person is. How do you punish that?
Yeah, it's really easy to make a fake persona and put up legitimate information, legitimate leaks, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. I think that's about the end of that. Like, SNK has some stuff to work on too. So before they even think about punishing anybody, they got to fix some stuff internally in their communication shit. Next question comes from this game is broken.
No.
Oh man, He's got a picture
the
of
game
Marvel
run?
vs. Capcom Infinite as his Twitter icon too. That's not that doesn't bode well. Would you guys be cool with KOF being the most popular FGC game? Only thing is, you have to play on mobile devices.
So I'm gonna answer this first. I'm pretty sure I'm the one out of all of us that plays like the most mobile games.
Yeah, you would
By
love that
I mean,
shit.
like, no, I hate everything about it. I don't like playing these basic ass mobile games on my phone. How am I gonna play any fighting game on my phone? It's horrible.
I've seen couple videos of that mobile KOF 13 game. Like, it was pretty legit. All the same stuff works.
I don't play phone games at all. I actually hate cell phone games. The last thing I downloaded on my cell phone was Flappy Bird for the fuck of it.
Why?
Wow.
And yeah, that's not happening. Like people down like all these like Grand Blue or Record
Oh,
Keeper.
fuck that shit, dude.
All that shit can fuck off,
No.
and I don't want any part of it.
I like how they call those games casual friendly, and I'm all like, all I see is some hardcore ass motherfuckers just 24/7 that
People
shit.
throwing hundreds of dollars
Yes,
away.
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Casual
I
my
mean, like,
ass.
good for those companies. They got the fucking crack for people, but holy shit, keep that away from
Like,
me.
how the hell you a casual dope fiend, man? Like,
No,
I only shoot up on
scary.
weekends, bro.
Yeah, it's scary how much money people put into this. Like I play Record Keeper Brave Exvius. I haven't put a fucking penny into either of these games. I talk to people who have told me they've dropped literally over $1,000 into these games. I ask them why. Oh, I just wanted to get these items. Did you get them? No. Oh, items are characters. I don't know
Dude.
what the hell's wrong with people.
Apparently, there have been tournaments where like people in the anime scene are literally like dropping hundreds of dollars in just rooms for people doing rolls and shit.
Oh
I'm like,
yeah, that's a
that's that high roller room, man. You got beautiful.
Yeah,
dude.
exactly. Except there's, man.
I remember like there was that whole thing like a couple years ago with that Fate game where like Dacid Bro and Beautiful Dude just basically just like pulled, and it was like competitive pulling or some shit like that.
Yeah.
And they both got body because they were like,
that sounds like kind of lewd. You should reevaluate how you say things.
I think that I totally meant to say it that way. What are you talking about? Dacid totally won the
Perfect.
competitive
Alright, good.
pulling match.
All right, I'll win these
Alright.
competitive pulling matches. All right, let's see. Next question.
Next question. Question comes from. I'm gonna switch windows because this thing is like really hard to see.
So I've got time rift. On my next
time
question.
rift. How much time per week did you put into practice when you first got serious about fighting games?
Oh shit.
I was at the arcade every single day when I was trying to get good. It helped that I lived right by Family Fun, so that was a big, like, it did make a big difference to me whether I, went home or went to the arcade. My family knew where to find me, so I was there till like sometimes an hour before I had to be in home. I was never home late because I would legit get like horrible ass beatings. So I was always home on time. I was a good boy.
Yeah, I'm
Hours.
probably, it would have been when I started playing Guilty, which would have been college, and I could walk from campus or my apartment to the arcade, and I was there every day, probably 4 hours at least.
It's hard for me to say because I literally dropped out of several semesters to play. I dropped out of several semesters to play at a college arcade at a college I didn't go to.
You also decided to be an exchange student or something.
Yeah, I
like that.
decided to be
Went
an
out to
exchange student
Japan.
and then dropped out of the Japanese exchange program to play freaking like Guilty Gear Reload with random people.
Wait,
and
while
never-
you were in Japan?
While I was in Japan, yes. I went to an exchange
How
program.
do you drop out of school in Japan while
I just
you're in
stopped
Japan and
going.
not
I
get
just stopped
thrown out of
showing
the
up.
country?
I just stopped showing up, and they never sent me like, "Hey, where the fuck did you go, man?" Like, I just stopped going.
That's exceptional, Chris. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, like it was. I mean, obviously, it was not the biggest success for getting my parents' respect, but I had a good time. And I learned a lot. I actually,
really worked out, but I was having fun.
I actually maintained that I learned more about the culture in Japan by dropping out of school and just hanging out in arcades and meeting people and just going as many because it's really easy to get around in Japan. Like you can walk everywhere basically. Like anywhere you want to go, you can probably walk
into a place.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I basically had to, right? I mean, I never got arrested out there, so pretty much I was good. They basically told me, like all the military guys, they told me, like, as long as you don't get arrested, do whatever the fuck you want. So okay. I learned Guilty Gear and KOF. Yeah, it was a great time.
You know, I will say this though. For as much as I played back then, I've probably gotten more out of playing. I got more out of playing when I was in SoCal because having different people. So from when I started to play, I had just the same small group of people. And what proved to be more valuable to me, at least as a player, was getting to play a bigger amount of people. I started to actually be able to step out of my original play group and see what my actual strengths and weaknesses are in comparison to people who I'd never played before, as opposed to just basically playing the same people who were generally better than me. So I never really developed my own identity. I was sort of playing in response to them. But once I was in SoCal, I was forced to play a whole new group of players all the time. And that helped me to sort of develop my own identity. And I played a lot less by that point in time.
I think around that time, too, like it was a lot easier to get more meaningful matches because there were so many people that were playing in SoCal that if you really wanted to, you could play a ton. You know, you could have played everybody every day for hours. But
yeah, it was also easier because everyone was, well, not everyone, but the majority of people were adults. They can get around.
Yeah.
They didn't have to worry about being home at certain times. So I was going to bring up the fact that like after a certain age, I was able to I stayed out all night. Sometimes the next day, just playing. It was cool, and it wasn't at the same time. You
know, there is a certain amount of, and I noticed this now I've gotten older, a certain amount of like weirdness that comes with if you have to go play at somebody's parents' house now. I'm like, man, I'm in my 30s. Why am I at your folks' place?
They got a big ass basement, dog. Don't hate.
It's just weird, and I know it's really common actually for people in their 20s in California.
Oh yeah, we gotta do that shit.
Still be living at home because, dude, it's so expensive to live out there.
Yeah.
But it was just weird for me because I was so used to neutral spaces, whether it was the arcade or somebody's own place that they, you know, an apartment they had. Because in Missouri, by the time you're in your mid-20s, you probably got your own place.
Damn. I wish I had that going on.
Even if it's a rinky-dink little apartment.
I would take that in a second. I didn't know who this dude was until you guys mentioned it, and I didn't know him by name. I knew who he was, so I don't really have an answer for this. But somebody's asking, or Red Mage asked, any thoughts on Richard Lewis hosting E-League, even given his colorful past? I don't really know much about what happened, so I don't have an opinion.
I heard some things about it, but I don't know the whole story, so I can't comment.
I was active in seeing what was happening while it was happening. Read all about it. As many of you know, I don't give a shit about things. I didn't really care about this. I thought the whole situation was dumb. I don't know. Like my thing is, I don't know who the guy is. I just know what happened, so I can't sit here and say him comment or him being a part of this is good or bad. Did he do something else stupid? Yes, but is he good at hosting? I don't know. He kept calling Steve tasty. So I don't know.
It really, you know, honestly, watching it, if I'm going to give it like an unbiased opinion, he just sounded like a guy they got because he was British. Because it's just sort of like if you watch Dota 2 streams, there's always that one guy who has nothing to do with Dota who's the host, and they just have him because he's an older white guy who has an English accent.
I was going to say Dota has this one old guy. He looks like he's at least in his mid-40s. Just has no business being there, and he just knows.
But he's just the host.
He's somebody's dad.
And that's fine. He is a host, like you said. Hosting is different than being a personality, commentating.
He seems to be doing an all right
handling.
job. Like when I watched him, he wasn't like super like upsetting or nervous or anything like that. He seemed pretty comfortable. So
I didn't want like I had it unmuted for like maybe 10 minutes total, and then I stopped. Then I took my nap like shortly after. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I just heard the tasty part laugh and then muted it.
Tasty.
No, I didn't mute it because of him. I muted it because I was focusing on it.
Like this is gonna be the second time he's gonna wish he stopped using that name.
Wow.
Yeah. Next question from DJ Eltro finally became a game goon yesterday, or part of the goon squad rather. Ask, you think we're seeing a balance patch or balance change after character DLC is out? I'm assuming he's talking about KOF 14.
I think before, like at least a month and a half before Evo, we're getting some.
Think so?
I think. I hope. But I
Well,
think, yeah.
so we're all under the assumption that DLC characters are coming out April 5th, right?
Yeah, because
that's when Whip's supposed to come out.
which I think was an accidental leak. Well, not a leak, but it was an accidental announcement. But whatever.
Pretty sure it was.
But they haven't released a date on the other two yet.
That's what I mean. Like it's been so inconsistent with like the way they did it.
So I got to assume we're gonna get something, but I can't say for sure.
It'd be nice. I would like to see a balance change before Evo, but
Is
at least a month
really
before Evo.
need for it?
All right, so I don't think there's a need for it, but if it leads to them fixing some fundamental flaws in the mechanics, I'm all for it. Because I don't think that this game, as it is, should go into Evo. And I'm going to get crucified
Why?
for saying that. Because there are a lot of things that happen that you can reproduce very easily that completely disrupt the flow of traffic, as I call it.
Let's make it simple. Rolls.
Rolls, basically.
Rolls is the easiest thing to bring up. Rolls screw so much up with this game. You can roll at someone, be behind them, and then you're visibly behind them, and then just, boom, you show up in front of them.
Oh, so you're not actually worried about a balance patch as much as you want glitches fixed.
I want some really bad glitches
glitches
fixed.
yeah.
There's been there's rolls, there's corner cross up stuff where like you'll cross up somebody, land behind them, and then you expect to do your inputs from the reverse direction, but all of a sudden you're facing the direction you jumped in originally.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just moves you from one side to the other on its own, and it's like that shouldn't be happening. I'm surprised it doesn't fuck up more things in the game. And the weird thing is, for me, is that this has been getting reproduced at every tournament. Like this is something they've been reproducing every tournament, and yet SNK has been very active in fixing things, like the Ramon Infinite, the freaking Andy glitch, all these other things that were problems. But for some reason, they will not touch spatial recognition. And I feel like that's something that's way deeper into the game's coding that either they're afraid to touch or they literally don't know what the fuck to do about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not either one of those. Hopefully it's just they got a fix already lined up and it's just ready to go before Evo. Because I guarantee you if that shit happens in top 8 at Evo and somebody's going
to lose their shit.
Yeah, somebody's going to flip their fucking shit over that.
I mean, think about it. You have me, who's not a competitive player at all anymore, especially in like this game. I lose my shit when it happens during casual play.
Oh yeah.
The amount of obscenities that come out of my mouth when this happens.
Like I would honestly like to see you play on a better stick first, so we see if it's actually your stick in terms of how buttons are.
It's not going to make a difference, but still, like there are quite a few issues, and there are the majority of issues center around rolls. Whether it's inputting roll or recovering from roll, not being able to get thrown out of roll, stuff like that. It's just a lot of weird issues that, again, are easy to recreate. Many Japanese players have put up clips of silly things happening, and nothing is going to get fixed.
I mean, we screamed. Everybody screamed so loud about the Ramon thing that
nothing's going to get addressed, or nothing has been addressed, rather. And hopefully SNK gets to it because they've been vocal on fixing things. They've been very active for the first time ever on making the game as clean as possible. I guess you could say every screwed up thing they found in the game or people have discovered, they fixed. That's nice, but I don't know. I personally think the whole role thing is a bigger issue for them.
It is.
I don't think it's gonna be a quick, easy fix.
And so I forgive them for that. Obviously, it might be something that they're wrestling with, and they have come out and said that they literally are learning this as they go along, so it could take a while. And so just gotta be patient. The fuck is this? Is this a question?
That's never a good start.
New Bob Dole.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Which model hawk?
Yeah.
Royal Rumble Night. Be not proud. The spirit of the Undertaker. Samurai Cop. I'm telling these sons. What the fuck?
Samurai Cop.
I don't get it. What is it?
Spirit of the Undertaker?
I feel like he forgot some words here.
Samurai Cop.
What the fuck is Samurai Cop?
No. Which monologue is better? I've never seen the Samurai Cop, but the Royal Rumble '94 is pretty hilarious when the Spirit of the Undertaker flies to the top of the arena after he gets put in the coffin.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that. That's an award winner for shittiest thing I'd ever seen in wrestling. And I was 12.
I just
God,
like how the
sorry.
Samurai Cop one starts out with "Now I'm telling these sons of bitches." Maybe. I have to watch Samurai Cop now. That's Trauma, right?
It's gotta be.
Yeah, that sounds like a Trauma thing.
Let's see.
Do you want to answer this? This is definitely for Gibby.
Damn it. Oh yeah, I skipped that one. I see that one. What cell phone games do you play then? It's just me that plays cell phone games. I play Brave Exvius and Record Keeper. I tried out, Fire Emblem Heroes, and it is legitimately the worst goddamn pile of crap I've ever put on my phone. Yeah, that's it. I don't play anything else.
All right. It's nice and simple.
This Reiki question.
This Reiki question.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
boy.
Reiki, why do you ask these questions that have long answers?
And you have typos.
I don't play phone games.
Late
No
question.
table games.
What, in your opinions, is the state of the game KOF 14? Where can SNK go for improvements from here? That's a very loaded question.
No, it is a loaded question. It's hard to go into. We have 6 minutes left. We can't do that.
I could honestly write an essay on this.
Yeah. Fix rolls, fix side switch issues, fix dual input issues. That's it. And
Yeah,
minor
honestly,
balance.
as much as a super casual KOF fan, I would like more characters just so I can see them be like, ooh, shiny new characters.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to keep people in the game is consistency. And if the game engine itself is falling apart and causing people a lot of frustration, that needs to be number one.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Like, a lot of people, including myself at times, give shit to Street Fighter V for X, Y, and Z, but within the system, it holds up pretty well.
Mm.
You don't see the game just like breaking randomly. So that's important.
Also, fix netcode and ranking. Apparently, that's still not working. I can't tell because no one's ever in ranking.
Just make online. Yeah, let's make online better in general. Yeah. It's really good as is. It's just not everyone has good connections. Reynolds.
Not everyone has good connections, Reynolds.
Wild Wolf asks, "What are your guys' most wanted picks for GG Rev 2?" I'm assuming he means characters, but we already know what the characters are, right?
Well, we don't. Look, if I had to guess, I'd say the fact that we're getting story expansions later means we're getting more characters too.
Mm.
That's a guess. I don't know, but it makes sense to me.
I'm sure the Zappa is probably the next obvious one, right?
Well, okay, so here's things. Somebody said, and who knows if this is a wild rumor or something that actually happened, that Anji actually shows up in part of Baiken's episode thing.
Mm.
So, which he hadn't been seen in anything yet. I'm going to stick with what I've always said. I honestly want all the old characters to come back. I want everybody to have their characters back, except for Cliff and Justice, and fuck the people who play them. I said it. That includes Ian. I know he's in this chat. But Anji, Robo-Kai. Well, we don't really need Haas. Fuck Haas too. Abba. Let's see who else. Zappa. I'm probably missing one or two still. But
Yeah.
Bridget.
Oh yeah, I can see Bridget popping back.
I want all those characters to come back because I want people to have their characters.
Yeah.
I genuinely want older Bridget. Like I don't give a shit about the character. I just want to see how what they would do with the design. And
You want to see how Bridget handled puberty, right?
Yeah. Anji is garbage. Fuck that character. Robo-Kai, I would love to see Robo-Kai. Robo-Kai would be dope as shit. People don't know this, but Robo-Kai is the one true Kai. Ignore what Hell Pockets is.
Damn.
And I'm all about Holy Order Soul because I could play like KOF and it works. It's great. I like Holy Order Soul.
I already have all the characters I want, so pick.
Oh no, yeah. I'm fine with the cast the way it is. Like having more characters, like having the entire cast, which I'm sure is gonna come eventually. That's gonna be like their end goal. But I like how they're doing it, where they introduce, they bring back a character or two, and they introduce a new character.
It's pretty smart.
See, you have SNK who's just bringing back old characters, right? And you have Capcom who's going with new characters, and you got Arxis who's just like, hey, let's just do both. Why not both? Yeah. All right, next question.
Learn from each other. Next question comes from Las Vegas' own Emperor Payne. Gibby, are you and Hell Pockets going to be able to make it to the Vegas Sunday Picket this time for EVO Finals? Probably not.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're working, and I'm
so,
going to be hungover.
I would like to.
I'm gonna be hungover.
I'd love to make it, but I can't. I might be in Vegas a couple weeks before EVO. I'll get more into that later, but we'll see. What's this? Since we're talking, I'm sorry. Karate Bugman asks, since we're talking about spending time getting good, which was the fighting game in the arcades you spent most time with?
Gear.
Man, that is rough because I played everything.
For me, it's ST or 98, because when I wasn't on the MVS cap, I was playing ST.
If I have to go with version, I think it's Reload. Probably
The best version.
because Slash didn't last that long. Had it not been as quick of a transition from Slash to AC, it would have ended up being Slash.
Yeah. I think for me it's Reload. Around the time that AC came out, I wasn't able to play nearly as much as I used to, and there was a lot less players because they all basically got turned off by force breaks. So, yeah, Reload. I probably spent like a solid 2 years on Reload just playing that only. And then after that was KOF 11.
Man, if KOF 11 had been at more arcades in Missouri, I might have actually really got the game because I played it a couple times and it was fun.
No, it is a really fun game.
11 was a Tilt exclusive, if I remember right.
Oh, really? Is that what it was?
Something like that. Like you had to get a special board.
No, Tilt had a special machine.
Yeah,
they had like
special
a connected stand-up side-by-side cabinet.
Yeah,
it
was huge.
Weird looking.
It was a big green monster, if you want to call it.
Yeah,
that.
it was.
So Tilt was the only place I know of anyone who played it, and Tilt was the place that somehow magically, mystically got King of Fighters 12 and 13 before everyone else.
Huh. Interesting.
Not the one over here.
It just happened out of nowhere. It was weird.
Do we have time for one more, or do you want to just wrap it
Sure,
up?
why not?
Yeah,
We're at the hour. We started a few minutes late.
Yeah, we could do these questions. Both of them. Let's go.
Okay, so hey, Ian says, are you guys still planning on doing the online tournaments and things for helping people get EXP with commentating and improving?
Yes.
Yes. That is something I'm
We
very...
should actually discuss that in the next couple days so we can kind of formulate some plans on it.
No, yeah, I'm very well, not just interested, but I want to get that done before EVO because I want people to feel comfortable with sending in reels. Even if they don't get picked, I want them to know that they put a good reel together.
Yeah, I want people to practice. And speaking of reels, or just commentary, if you are going to Combo Breaker, they have an open commentary application going on. It's on their website. You just have to answer a few questions and provide a reel. If you don't have a reel, that's one of the reasons we've been doing this, to help people with a reel. Not everything we do gets streamed, but it still gets recorded. We send you the video, all that stuff, or we upload it to YouTube, one or the other. And try it out. Try it out for Combo Breaker. I tried it out for Combo Breaker. I probably have the best application.
I signed up. I'm probably not going to get it. I'm probably not going to get picked.
I heard back from them.
The Hado has hated me ever since I gave him that Hawaiian barbecue.
You told him it was going to be real. Hawaiian barbecue.
He lives out here now, and he's like, where am I gonna hang out? Who's gonna hang out with me? I'm all like, you already know, I only hang out in one spot, brother. That Hawaiian barbecue spot. His wife is loving it.
Mm-hmm. She's like, I hate Chris already. I've only met him like 3 times.
All right, last question from Luis Krake. Craig? Yeah. How big is SNK and KOF in Japan compared to other games? And question mark. So right now, we're actually in a very sticky situation with that, with the KOF 14 arcade locate test that is going down, or went down recently. You might have seen Giuna on Twitter tweeting about that, and how there was only 4 people in line for it. I heard some differing reports on that. Some people say that the locate test is doing really well. There's that guy that's KOF UK on Twitter. Yeah,
KOF UK is one of the more, I don't want to say respected, it's one of the more reliable sources on it. Not saying Giuna isn't reliable, it's just he was there all day.
Yeah. And so...
it's a big, this was significantly smaller than the last, like, premiere or whatever for it. Because if you remember when KOF 14 was being demoed, initially they had lines of, like, hundreds of people. Like, legitimately hundreds of people. Mm-hmm. And the reason being, they had 2 machines. That's it. So, yeah, like usually, like back in the day when they had load tests for games, for SNK games at least, they would just pop, like 5 to 10 MVS machines with cartridges. Boom, people played. And they can't do that now.
Well,
but,
yeah.
The KOF scene in Japan is, it was bigger before. The fact that KOF 14 doesn't have an arcade release yet really hurt it. And oh boy, what the hell? I'm sorry, I just heard something weird from man. It basically comes down to not having an arcade version. When it comes out in arcades, it's gonna get bigger, but I don't think it's gonna get significantly bigger because it's been out for a year. A lot of players aren't gonna want to play catch up. They're gonna stick to wanting to play like the old games. Like, I'm going to stick to 13, I'm going to stick to 2K2 UM, whatever. And the scene itself is decent. There's just not very outgoing. The KOF scene in Japan is very shy and reserved. The best way to put it.
Yeah, I was going to say that much. Like, the closest they ever got to really going out was 13. And I think they can do it again, especially with some like added incentive from SNK and other sponsors and stuff. Like, you got M-Dash sponsored by or Sanwa. So that definitely encourages that kind of participation from the scene. And M-Dash is very much a part of that very reserved and shy scene. But boy, the guy can talk some shit.
And no more questions.
Is that it?
That is all she wrote.
Go sign up for Northwest Majors. Go sign up for NCR. Go sign up for West Coast Wars. Sign up for NCR. Come see at least three of the SDR people.
SDR people that will be there.
I'm not sure if Alex is going. He told me no, and then
I imagine maybe. Not. I don't think he has a reason to go.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure he's not going. But hey, he might come. You might get to see 4 people. Who knows?
It might be one of those things. If he discovers somebody driving up there, he could end up going just because he's been playing Gear a lot. So it's always possible.
Find a Gear player for him to go up with.
For those who care, WrestleMania is this weekend, along with a bajillion other wrestling events happening in Florida. So
that totally snuck up on me. I had no idea.
Hey man. Look, I just know because I pay way too much attention to wrestling. I've told at least 3 people, and they're like, WrestleMania is this weekend? I was like, oh, yeah. They're like,
that's not good.
Huh? Yeah, I was like, oh, that ain't good.
That was our reaction. Like, wait, what? Anything else?
So.
Right.
Oh, there's something I wanted to talk about.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to remind Mike G to put us in Indivisible.
Yeah, hey, Mike. It's a new year.
When can I record my voiceovers?
3 months, 27 days. What is Indivisible already? You promised.
We didn't even really talk that much about E-League.
Oh, yeah! No, it's almost like we had...
Well, we'll have 5 days of it to talk about next week.
Yeah. Let the dust settle a little bit.
Just a quick overview. His first day was ridiculous in terms of production. Commercial breaks weren't too bad. I thought that commentary was, you could tell all of them were nervous at first.
I think they eased into it pretty nicely eventually.
It went away like after 1 or 2 matches,
Yeah.
and they were so.
I'm really
So
proud
far,
of those
good
guys.
luck. I think it makes everything look super shiny. If you like Street Fighter V, it's a lot of high-level Street Fighter play. And if you don't like Street Fighter V, it's still pretty entertaining. Just to see everything on that level.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. All right, we're all done.
We good?
We are good.
I don't know what that was. But anyway,
It's my.
I'd like to thank everybody for listening to another edition of Super Desperation Radio, or I guess watching since we're on cameras now.
Yeah.
That's weird. So from everybody here, good night and good luck.